This is really sad. This used to be sort of a pathway that went to the beach, and you can see it's really carved out here. It's so wide I could turn my car around in this. Normally you're sort of struggling through the sand to get through the dune system, but here it's quite flat and quite wide, and the dunes have been really eroded away, have been peeled away, more or less from that wall to where you see the change in the color. It used to be all a sloping dune, and now it's just gone. Here's the signal. Bouncy. 15, 14, 11, 12. See if we can isolate it. Okay, it's out. Well, we got a loony, Canadian $1 coin. Another coin, a 10-cent piece, Canadian dime. It's not old, 2001 I believe, or 2011. You can see the salt's got to it a little bit, and the signal was bouncing around, but Canadian clad does that. The Equinox doesn't like them very much, but got it on all metal and it came through. So alright, sort of following that same line, and I've got a crusty nickel. Let's see, Queen Elizabeth on the back there. I think what I'm going to do is basically work this same distance away from the dune and just keep going in a straight line, travel back. And I'll go for a ways and see if I can't bring up something more than clad. I'm getting a very consistent 26, 25, 26. Alright, let's dig this one live. Very green penny, I believe. 1979 Canadian penny. Well, that's proving the theory that there's a line here pretty well. And we'll continue digging along this line. Pretty consistent. That's worth digging live. Out. There we go, very nice. It's a quarter, because it's a Canadian quarter and it's kind of brown. Oh yeah, it's an old one. The King George, I think. King George, yeah. Mucked it a little with the scoop. That ought to be silver. Sweet. Got a date just yet. 1946 or 8. Not quite sure. But that's silver. Since I don't know exactly where this line is, I've got a visual, in my mind. What I'm doing is, you can see here, there's three sort of paths. So I'm going down this middle path, which is what I believe is the line. And then every 10 meters or so, I go back by about a meter on this side and come around and come back the other side by about a meter. So I've got about a 2-meter wide path here that I'm trying to scope out. And so far it's been doing okay. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but there was a bullet that I just pulled out here, and then some of that clad that I found you know, and they're all sort of making a line, and they're sort of fitting in between this 2-meter wide strip. So I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to turn around, pick up where I left off. And alright, let's try and do a quick wrap-up video from the hunt at Bleeping Point. Really didn't know what to expect out there, and happy I went, because there was certainly things to be found, and had overall a good hunt. I was very, very happy with the way that I approached the beach, and the strategy that I used on the beach, and that did turn up some good finds. So here we go. We'll take a look. Some odds and ends, some cutlery, a little bit of miscellaneous trash, and some brass that rang up very nice. Had a bunch of coins. And we'll get to that a little later. These were the dream signals that turned out to be nothing more than trash. There's a lot of bullets, as you can see, that were ring up very nice, and I was kind of expecting silver or even, you know, copper coins, but turned out to be some bullets, a few odd blobs. There was the little piece of jewelry that I found near the end, which I did check. I didn't think that it was precious just by the look of it, you know, but there did appear to be some markings on the back. However, they didn't test to be real diamonds, as I suspected they wouldn't, and certainly not gold. So we'll take a look. There's 8 pennies. I mentioned during the video that there were a number of them from the 1970s, which was interesting. A loonie, Canadian $1 coin, a couple of quarters of the clad variety, ended up with a American dime, and then 3 Canadian dimes, and 3 nickels. I believe this one was a little bit older, appeared to be. But the real treasure was in 2 silver coins. So we had a 1943 silver quarter, and then this little guy is probably the find of the day, which is what we refer to as a fish eye, and that's a 5-cent coin from the early 1900s, and this one happens to be a 1910, and it's a 5-cent coin, which is roughly half the weight of the dime in silver quantity, and not very, you don't find too many. I have found them in the parks before, certainly have never found one on the beach, so very, very pleased to rescue that one from the beach. Not in the best of shape, as it's been in the water, but you know, being there for over 100 years, and being able to pull it out of you know, the sand, and still be able to get dates and stuff off it, that's pretty amazing. Another pretty cool thing is this axe head, which I'd really like to get cleaned up. I think I'd like to maybe try and find somebody who's got a sandblaster and see if we can't restore that back to life a little bit. It's kind of interesting find for the beach, but kind of a cool find just the same. Anyway, I hope to get back out to Bleeping Point and other beaches now post Fiona, and knowing that there is stuff to be found, I'm certainly more inclined to do so. A lot of the beaches have been closed down because of security, safety concerns, because of so much damage, but there are others that are either on the opposite side of the island, or not such public beaches that are available, and going to give it a go. Also, after the trees and the down power lines get taken care of, there'll probably be some beach hunts, or some park hunts rather, in the future for me. But yeah, overall pretty happy, and happy to get this video together, and hopefully it turned out okay. Just getting used to wearing the camera sort of in the chest area, and doing these long form videos, so hopefully it turns out we got some good coverage and decent hunt, I think. So Yeah, I guess that's about it, and we'll see you on the next one.